call it whatever you want. If Kwame Brown ends up in this city wearing a New York Knicks uniform, actually allowed to parade the streets of New York as a member of one of the most storied franchises, I don't know what I will do.
Oh, man.
You go. You just start. You just goodbye, Shelby. Just goodbye. Goodbye.
Have a nice night.
Brother, they bring Kwame Brown to this city. Kwame Brown. I don't know what I'll do. And by the way, ESPN, don't even try to get me to do anything with it. I'll quit first. I just cannot take. I can't take it. Just the thought of it makes me stutter.
Yep, that was a grown man in a suit in a professional setting in one of the top sports broadcasting show, ESPN, on TV, wilding out like that. Hello everyone, and once again, welcome back to Be Free. That was Stephen A. Smith, host of one of ESPN's popular show, and this is not the first time this man is sound like that. As a matter of fact, before he got into ESPN, he's gotten in trouble a few times because of his mouth, because of what comes out of his mouth that has nothing to do with his job. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people tune into the show because he's very outspoken, constantly gets into an argument with his co-host, which, I guess it adds a little spice to the show, but he crosses the line. He seems to be crossing the line over and over, and nobody checks this man. He said a lot of problematic things on that show, but it just seems like they just sweep it under the rug, and he comes back. He's getting worse and worse by the day, and no one checks him. But it looks like his time has finally come. So you have a former basketball player by the name of Kwame Brown. He has recently come on here on YouTube, and he is letting everyone have it, and they seem to deserve it. Stephen A. is a bully. He's a bully. I'm actually going to come out and call him a bully, because the way he talks about some of these players is beyond just giving your comment or opinion on someone's performance. It's as if he takes it personal, especially with his former player, Kwame Brown. He cannot let this guy's name out of his mouth. And in one of Kwame's video in exposing this man, he said this man is effeminate. His ways are very effeminate, and I do agree. One man of his position will go in front of a camera and just whine and cry day after day about some player and what they're doing. And it has nothing to do with their performance on the court. He's either arguing with his co-host, gotta have the final say, or he's in some business that has nothing to do with what ESPN hired him. But they allow him to continue on his rants for some reason. He's beyond just giving his comment, his opinion, and how they did on the court and their stats and all that. He's beyond that. He's taking these things to a whole new level. And here is this young man, Kwame Brown. Looks like he was drafted really early out of high school. And instead of supporting this young man, instead of him encouraging him, he comes on national TV and belittles this man. One man in his right mind sits in front of a camera to belittle another man. And on top of that, he's influencing other men to think like him, to the point where he invited a man on his show and trying to convince this man about this Kwame Brown, that this man is a scrub. Take a listen.
I'll tell you why. Because you're Kwame Brown. You're 7 feet tall. You're the #1 overall draft pick, okay? You come into this league, you came in without a jump shot. You came in without the ability to rebound. You came in without the ability to do nice footwork, to pass, to rebound, to defend, to score points, or whatever the case may be. And it's a decade later, and you're still that dude. You've never worked and put forth your due diligence in order to take advantage of the privilege opportunity that you were in. And when I see that level of consistency as it pertains to ineptitude, I'm going to call somebody out. If a dude is playing like garbage, you don't sit there and point out he's playing like garbage.
Of course
you don't
I
sit
do,
there and point out how he's not living up to expectation.
I don't want to get away from what we're talking about, because that's what makes this.
I'm staying on the point. I'm right here.
But there's a difference between reporting what you see in the box score at the game or calling someone a scrub. Like, If I make
But he is a scrub.
Not if he's a scrub.
And you know it.
Kwame Brown may be a scrub compared to Shaquille O'Neal.
Not us.
And if he's able to maintain one of those jobs for 10 years, there's no way he could be a scrub.
But I am glad Kwame Brown came on the scene, and he came correct. This is after years of them belittling him, never giving him the credit he deserved, pretty much bullying him in this case. He came back correct. He didn't come under emotion. He didn't come under revenge. I'm not sure what spirit is behind him in doing this, but it doesn't seem like it's anything evil. And I guess that's just the season we are in. I was going to say a year of exposure, but it's no longer a year. It seems like we are in a season of exposure. And now we have someone that's come out of NBA community, and he's exposing these guys. He's bringing truth of what's been covered for a very long time. And it has to come in that spirit, because that's the way truth will be most effective. Especially, he's dealing with people's idols. He's mentioning Michael Jordan's name. He's mentioning all these names that people have made an idol of. So when you come out and start to speak truth against an organization that's been made an idol of, or a person, or an individual, what happens is you're going to get attacked. They're going to come against you. But if you come in the spirit of truth, that will sustain you to endure all that might come your way. And when it comes to bullies, you have to stand up to them. You have to stand up to them sooner or later. If you want them to back down, you will have to stand up to them. And Stephen A has been asking for this. He gets up there, the way he talks about these players, none of them come back to check him, to put him in his place. But someone is finally come back to put him in his place. Yeah, you have this former player that endured all this nonsense that's been said about him. People's been saying without facts, because now he's telling his side. And I believe his side. It may not be 100%, I don't know. But so far from what I heard from his videos, from his lives, it sounds about right. And another lesson to learn here, when people want to come against you to destroy you, when people are defaming you, especially when you know it's all a lie, the best thing you can do in a situation is be patient. Don't react. They are reacting. They're the ones reacting. And what they're doing, they're trying to get you now to act a fool. But you have to think before you react. You have to think before you move. And that's what this man did.
Free lunch program has an action figure. A young man that by every statistical category, I wasn't supposed to make it to college. I was supposed to go to prison. I was next to last out of 8. I got the key to the city, and I'm in the Hall of Fame. You call that a bust?
He's just been sitting and watching and doing his thing. He's not a bum. He's not a scrub like they try to make him to be. He seems like a very intellectual individual, very grounded. So now he's coming out, and people are going to hear him, and people are hearing him. And people are hearing him, and people will believe him, because he took his time and he came on and he did it right. Because as I mentioned, when you're dealing with idols, you can be reactive, because the people that are following them are blind. They become blind and dumb. It's hard to get the truth to them. So you have to come correct, and that's what this guy has done, and I applaud him for that. There's another lesson to learn in this as well. Bullies, they like to go around and spread rumor about you. They like to go around and lie on you. They like to go around and turn people against you. So you may be one of those people that they're trying to convince to hate someone. So be careful of those that will try to put words in your mouth in regards to someone else, that's trying to convince you about someone else that you never personally had experience with, or you know them, but now somebody's coming and telling you something else about them. Be careful in the judgment you make in those moments. And we can learn something from Jalen Rose, how he handled that whole situation when Smith was trying to convince him, or was trying to bait him into talking negative about this man. And he stood his ground. He did not back down, like, I'm a guest here, but this is not what I came for. If we're going to talk about his stats, if we're going to talk about his game in the court, his credentials, we can talk about that. But we're not going to sit here and call him names. What does calling him a scrub has to do with his credentials as a ball player? So be careful, even if there's no camera on. Be careful who you agree with. I know this is a struggle for some of us. If you have your own opinion about someone, you think they're a good person, don't let someone come and change your mind in regards to that unless you experience it firsthand yourself. But don't let someone just come in and try to change your mind in regards to a person that you have a different opinion of. If you know a person and you believe they have a good character, they're a great person, and someone is trying to change your mind about them, yeah, take heed. There could be some truth in what they're saying. Don't be quick to jump in the bandwagon with them and go to war. Again, I love how truth is prevailing in this whole matter, how patience is proving itself in this whole matter. And I know the man was cussing, smoking on this live, but he's still applying biblical principles that we as Christians are called to apply, and a lot of us are missing. The man was patient. We can learn something from that. Just him patiently waiting before he retaliated. Patiently, which I don't even think is retaliating right now. He's just speaking the other side that's been covered for a very long time. He's just bringing those things to light. And the way he did that is by speaking the truth. And I pray all the best for him. And I also hope that Stephen A. realized the position that he's been given and that he will use it more wisely, more effectively with his mouth. So until next time, take care of yourselves and be careful how you move.